like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And the Chiefs D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
A shotgun snap for Newton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Set up. 90, Wolf. 59. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Deep grip.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 27-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
54. Record. Hey, lock it. Hey, zoom. 5.
Now Howard. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down.
Watch the run. Get it.
They run with Thomas. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Ready? Get a tap, ready? Check 52 to Mike. Night, sweetheart.
From the gun, here's Newton. Look, that's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Now Newton. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Ready? Right to the 3.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on 3rd down, Michaels. And he's got room. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Watkins, the intended receiver. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with McCaffrey. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's get it. Okay, ready?
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
You must be getting tired of seeing this.
Operating from the gun, Michaels. And this is caught by Watkins. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Ready? 57, Mike 57. Bound to lose one. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Michaels. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Go now.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go. Get off the field.
Off play action. Michaels. And this is caught by Evans. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he gets it down to the 32.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
To throw on 2nd down, Michaels. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. A first trip to the red zone for KC. 1st and 10 at the 19. They run with Howard. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And this is caught by Watkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Leo!
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
A pickup of 2.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Maher is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. A final shot before break. Michaels. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
Taken down back at the 23-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Let's go.
From the gun, Michaels airing this one out for Evans. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. Third and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 35 on second down. Newton, open man is Samuel, complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he? And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Curtis Samuel with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Michaels. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. K1 short. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Here's the Chiefs punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. McCaffrey following the penalty. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made there by Frank Clark. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 27-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally They're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. Throwing on third down, Newton. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Ready. 52. Exit.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go. 50, plant. Watch the D4. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Michaels. Thomas has got it. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On the double. Mike 5-4. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
2nd and 5. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game, as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
11 yards there, first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Double tight, double tight. Odd. 5 down. Stand up in. Go nowhere, 22, go nowhere.
This is McCaffrey. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Squeeze, double.
They'll try the air now with Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On the ground, McCaffrey. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Newton now to throw. Got his target, Samuel. A gain of 22. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. McCaffrey trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go.
Ready. Check 52's the mark. Watch the pass. Get it.
And they take a knee. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Fix it. Look at it.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee.
Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Panthers, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And it's going to be finger-crossing time as we await the final.